So I'm about to book my flight for Thailand, and the moment I hit confirm, I'm gonna be in over $12,000 worth of debt. Yeah. Anyways, instead of spiraling, I'm taking control. In today's video, we're gonna be talking about debt consolidation, my August no spend plan, and of course the exact tracker I use to keep it all together. Welcome back to Level Up with Keeks. This is episode 2 of my debt repayment series, which I have decided to dub the Debt Me Out series. Get it? Debt me out, get me out of debt, debt me out. But I also feel like it's like ice me out, but don't debt me out. No, debt me out, yeah. Anyways, debt me out of debt, get me out of debt, debt me out. I hope you get it. Anywho, it's my own little fun, cheeky way of owning the fact that I'm in debt. I don't really feel too pressed about it. My relationship with money is very much a positive one. So I'm hoping that this helps keep a positive vibe for any of you guys who are going through debt. Half of Canadians carry a credit card balance month to month, and nearly 3 in 4 Americans have consumer debt. So I'm new to debt, but I'm not new to the debt world. Like we all got debt apparently. So I don't feel too bad about it. I'm hoping that this series, this Debt Me Out series, will be a positive experience for anyone else that's going through debt to just be able to see like, you know, we all got it. We do our best, we pay it down. The goal is of course to be debt free, but like don't put yourself in a hole of like shame or anything if you have debt. We all got debt. Sometimes from great decisions like you wanting to go to school, and sometimes from more spontaneous decisions like me wanting to go to Thailand after I said I wasn't traveling this year. It is what it is, you know what I mean? So anywho, if you're in the same boat, welcome. No shame here, just strategy. And yeah, let's get into it. Now, before we even get into the whole breakdown, the CoPlenty Yearly Budget 2.0 tracker is how I'm managing all of this, everything actually, not just debt. The tracker has a debt snowball calculator, which I love because as someone new to debt, and if you watched episode 1, you know your girl don't even really understand the debt snowball method. I've just had to learn these different methods and I'm trying new things as I, you know, work to pay off this debt. So the debt snowball calculator is already in the tracker, but not just that, it's got a monthly dashboard for all of my month-to-month expenses. So if you are not new here, you know your girl has a budget with me series, which I will post the playlist here, where you guys literally sit in on my payday routines, budget with me, see my overspending, my underspending, the money I have left over, the money I don't, etc. So I use the exact same tracker for that, and it has visuals to show you your yearly, like annual dashboard. Not only that, it's got other tabs I haven't used, like calculating my net worth, because your girl's in debt right now. I don't need to know that information. But the annual dashboard is so amazing for me to see how I'm tracking month to month, how much I've currently made, how much I've spent, and just get that yearly snapshot visual of how everything's going in addition to the specific monthly breakdowns. So I use it to log my balances, map out my strategy, and really just keep myself in financial check. It has been a game changer for me, so I will link it below in my stand store if you want to use it as well. Now, if you've watched episode 1 of my Debt Me Out series, you know that I've got, let me check here, $5,328.31 in credit card debt from a trip that I have not even taken yet. Your girl will be going to Thailand later this year. Yay! Anyways, from that first episode, if you haven't watched it, give it a watch. I broke down just sort of the interest that has to be paid. It's sitting on my Amex Gold credit card at 21.99% interest, which is absolutely just dumpster fire amount of interest. That's a lot of interest to be paying on something. We also broke down in that video that if I only made the minimum payments, not only would I owe millions, like literal millions in interest, but it would take me like 30 years to pay it down. And that's if I never spent on my credit card ever again. Like if I only made the payments and never spent again. Completely unrealistic, completely undoable for me. I don't need to be paying for my freaking Thailand trip 30 years later and having spent millions in doing so. It's just absolutely ridiculous. So great, now my cat wants to come back inside. So we talked a little bit about that. We broke down what the debt snowball strategy is, but one of you guys actually commented in that video to talk about like debt consolidation. I think you were mentioning like a HELOC or something of sorts, which is a home equity line of credit. And while I don't have that, it actually reminded me that I have a personal line of credit. So first, let's talk a little bit about what debt consolidation is and what my new plan is. So what is debt consolidation? Debt consolidation is a method of obviously paying down your debt. It can be tied in with snowball method if you weren't able to consolidate all the debts, but it's kind of a separate branch from the snowball method. However, it is still something I can track within my debt snowball calculator. So that's great. But essentially, debt consolidation is when you take multiple high interest debts, think credit cards, personal loans, Money Mart, you know, Cash Now, whatever those places are, and you roll it into one lower interest line of credit. The reason debt consolidation is great and is a great option if it's available to you is because 1, you have one balance. 2, you have one interest rate to remember and calculate the difference in how much interest needs to be paid. And 3, you have one payment to focus on. While it doesn't erase the debt, it makes it easier to manage, it costs less over time, and it feels way less overwhelming than having to check like a bunch of credit cards and pay this one down for this amount with this decimal. It's one line of credit, I'm making one payment every month or as often as I'd like. Now, a flag here is that a personal line of credit isn't available to everyone. If you don't have a personal line of credit right now and you have bad credit, while you can definitely apply for a personal line of credit, you might not be approved. So the only caveat here that's different from the snowball method is that with the snowball method, you've already accrued the debt on this credit card, whatever, and you're working to pay it down. Over here, in consolidating it into a personal line of credit, you have to actually be approved for a line of credit. That's my only flag. Now, I forgot I had a personal line of credit because my credit's been really, really good, especially since obviously having a mortgage and paying that down. I think it really bumped me up. My credit score right now is like 838. So when you have good credit, not even 800s, like 700s, I was getting calls. It was in the 700s I was getting all these offers from banks. They call you, they say, hey, do you want a line of credit? Do you want this? We're gonna offer you 25,000. We're gonna offer you 30,000 here. I just say yes. The reason I said yes though, number one, is because I know I don't have a spending problem. So I knew that it wasn't gonna be too much temptation to have $50,000 worth of credit available for me to use. As you guys know, I forgot about the personal line of credit. I just simply said yes because when it comes to building your credit, which I've made a video on this, so you can watch that here, unless I don't post it yet. I might post this first. So if nothing's showing up here, it's because I didn't post it yet and it's coming next. So stay tuned, subscribe, and you can watch it. One thing you'll know is that a big contributor to your credit score is your credit utilization. That's the word. And credit utilization is basically just the percentage of how much money or how much credit, meaning money that's not yours, how much you're using. Utilization just means using. How much of your available credit are you using? This allows the banks to determine your credit utilization percentage. For example, if I have a $100 credit card and I have a balance of $30, I'm using 30% credit utilization. I am using 30% of my $100 available credit. Now, obviously when it's like 10,000s and 50,000s, that percentage goes down. Ideally, you want a credit utilization percentage of 30% or less. Strategically, I was like, look, I'm already at X percent. I pay down my credit card every month, so I know my credit utilization month to month technically is zero depending on when they take the statement. Why not have a bigger balance? Because the bigger my balance, the smaller my credit utilization. If I ever did carry a debt over on my credit card, it's gonna be even smaller because it's being compared to my available debt or my available credit. I said yes to all these lines of credit. When I checked my Credit Karma, I have $80,000 worth of credit available to use. And I have a $5,000 debt that I'm carrying over. So if we do a quick calculation, $5,000 divided by $80,000 available to me to use, even if I carry over this $5,000 credit balance, since I have about $80,000 of credit available, my credit utilization is 6%. Like, I still look really good. Even though we're doing a debt repayment plan, because I said yes to all this credit stuff when it was offered to me and never used it, I still have $75K available to borrow if I wanted to. So because I'm not borrowing it because I don't need it and I want to focus on repaying this debt, my credit utilization is at 6%. Meaning throughout this debt repayment, I'm still gonna look good to the credit bureaus because one, I'm gonna be paying it down, and two, I'm barely chipping the surface of how much money is available for me to use. Long story short, banks want to give you money when they know you don't need it. You know what I mean? They want to give you more money when they know you don't need it because they want you to use it so that they could like charge you the interest. And then on the other hand, they want to give you money when they know you suck with money, because if you saw in my first episode, a $10 a month minimum payment could pay them millions of dollars in interest. So there's two sides of it. You don't get approved for credit, but if they already got you on the credit and you're shit with your money, they love it because the interest is just going to keep accruing and they're making bank off you. And on the flip side, if you make a lot of money, they don't want you to use it, and if you don't use it, they're gonna give you more. So they're just like teases. They're teases and they're evil. That's a conversation for another day. So that is just a little bit about the personal line of credit. If you have one, look into it. What is your balance? What's available? Can you consolidate your debt? It's worth looking into if it's a good idea for you. For me, I'm gonna be using one of my credit cards to purchase the flight, but after I've purchased the flight, I'm gonna transfer the debt, not only from my Amex from purchasing the actual trip, but the flight purchase, I'm transferring that to my line of credit. My line of credit's interest rate is 9.44%. 9%, whereas my RBC Avion and Amex credit cards have interest rates of 21.99%. Oujo. So you can already see right there a huge jump, just a little over 50% savings in terms of interest being paid. That is awesome. Since my personal line of credit is flexible, I can pay it down faster without penalties, meaning if I want to make 3 payments next month, I can. There's no penalties for me to pay more down like how you might have in the case of a mortgage. So with my mortgage, I think I have flexible payments, but my mortgage before this one that I just refinanced to, you're not allowed to pay more than the payment they set up. The reason for this is because they want to take your money from the interest. God, they're crazy. They're evil, but they're crazy. Either way, the banks are evil. The credit cards are not evil. Use these to your advantage. I'm getting the points, baby. Like that's what this comes down to. I'm getting the points and hopefully I rack up enough points that I pay for my next trip. You know what I mean? So it's all good. And because this is the one big purchase that's just coming out, I want to make sure it's on a clean slate. Everything's consolidated. It's at a lower interest rate and I'll know, hey, $12,000 trip, you got to pay this down, create my own payment plan of sorts and pay it down knowing that more of my payments are going to go to principal as opposed to the interest. Okay, I'm going to quickly share my screen and go into my CoPlenty debt snowball calculator tab just to show you guys the contrast of what I am saving from moving things over to my personal line of credit, but as opposed to having them on my credit cards. So as you can see here, I've put 2 options, one being my personal line of credit and one being my Amex. If you saw from episode 1, I know I said at the beginning of this, I had 5,000 something. I already put 420 blaze up as a payment towards this. So I've already paid one payment towards that, my Amex card in July, because I was like, I guess I'm just gonna have to pay 420 each month, but no, screw that, I'm moving it over. So as you guys can see with my Amex at the interest rate of 21.99%, if I made my minimum payment of 420 blaze up, I would owe $674 in interest. It would take me 13 months to pay down and I would have it paid off by January 1st. Now, if I move it to my personal line of credit, the debt-free date will stay the same, but the interest owed is significantly less than what it was gonna be if I kept it on my Amex. If I add here my RBC, Avion, Visa, and we add another, let's just highball it, $8,000 at 21.99% at the minimum payment, which let's say the minimum payment is $50 a month, because we would be doing some sort of snowball calculator. Actually, you know what, I would probably be moving it to this one first and then starting to pay down less on the Amex, because the whole point is I would start with the lowest debt first, which I would pay the biggest chunk that I'm available to pay, and on the rest of them I'd pay the minimum payments. Let's say the RBC Avion Visa was $50 a month. So you can see here with the interest rates that they have, I'm paying a total of almost $4,000 in interest if I was to keep these on the credit cards. Now, $3851.84. Now, if I consolidated it over, I know this is a little bit messy, I'm just using this as like a worksheet. I made it like this and move the debt onto my personal line of credit. I'm only paying under $2,000 in interest, which of course it's still a lot. There's interest to be paid, but it's way less than the almost $4,000 that I was gonna pay split between the 2 credit cards. Not only is it way less, but I'm only making my 1 payment per month. And not only that, but I don't have to hop on my Amex and pay that bill down. I don't have to then log into my RBC Avion Visa, pay that down, and you know, it's a lot. So I now just have to make sure I pay my 1 payment per month, even if it's, I add the 50, 470. There you go. It's way less in interest that I'm paying. It's easier for me to manage because I just have to set up a bill payment to go straight to my line of credit. I could actually set automatic transfers. So if I want to put $470 every month, I can set an automatic transfer from my checkings to my personal line of credit and know that that's getting paid down, and I'll have it paid down in a couple years. Now, damn, that's if I stuck with the $470. My goal, because it is a variable, you know, debt, if I have more money that I can put down, I'm gonna put it down. But other than that, I'm not too mad at it. Right now, I think I could realistically put $420 down, and that's what I will do. But at least I'm putting $420 down and owing 9% interest as opposed to 21. Like, that's the whole point. It doesn't necessarily mean that your debt's gonna disappear just like that, but you are gonna be putting more money down to the principal and less to the interest. Now let's talk about my August game plan when it comes to my finances, finishing these bookings, all of that stuff. Step number 1 is to book and consolidate. So I'm gonna book the flight, because I have not done that yet, and move my balance to my personal line of credit. What else I'm gonna do is right now, I'm gonna move my Amex to my personal line of credit. When I say move it to my personal line of credit, all I mean is I'm gonna log into my banking that has my line of credit, select to pay a bill, and pay the balance of my Amex card. Let me do that right now. Woo-doo-woo, woo-doo-woo, whoop-de-woo, and done. So now my Amex Gold is paid in full. I'm carrying over a $0 balance. Not only that, but I collected my points because I put the purchase on that credit card. I got to collect my points and now I've paid it off with my line of credit. So I got the points. I'm not going to carry over the balance. I don't have to worry about this 21.99% interest rate. Beautiful. When I book my flight, I'm going to do the exact same thing. So I'm going to book the flight on my RBC Avion Visa because there are some bonus sign-on points that I need to collect, gather my points, and then immediately I'm going to pay off that bill with my personal line of credit. This will do the work of not only letting me collect my points, but consolidating all of the debt onto my personal line of credit. Total debt amount TBD. I'm guessing if I've already got 4,000, I'm guessing 12,500. That's my guess. Let me know what your guess is in the comments because a little insight for you guys, I'm gonna be booking business class. Qatar Airways. Yeah, get into it. Because you know what? It's gonna be a 14-hour flight. I'm not doing it in anything but style. I'm not doing it in anything but a full reclining bed and a cubby that closes the door and unlimited Netflix and unlimited food and unlimited drinks and snacks and the toiletry bag. I'm not doing it. I'm not gonna do it. No, I'm not. So I might as well, you know? So you guys guess in the comments. My guess is $12,500 of debt when all is said and done in relation to booking the travel and, you know, this additional $4,000 that I have already owed from booking the trip itself. You guys guess in the comments. Will Price is Right it? Whoever's closest to wins. Nothing. Yeah, you just win. Bragging rights, yay. And then once that's been consolidated, my next goal, so that's step one, purchase the flight, get everything consolidated on the line of credit. Step number two is gonna be to set up some no spend boundaries. The only way I'm gonna be able to pay off the debt over time, which as we saw in the tracker, right now, if I'm only doing $420 for the next 2 years on this line of credit, I'm gonna have it paid off by August of 2027, literally 2 years from now, if that's all I do. I don't actually mind that. Maybe I won't increase it. My goal is of course to have extra funds to pay down more because if it's one thing I don't want to pay, it's interest. And that's just how I am. So we're gonna have a no spend month as best as I can. The no spend month is for the simple goal of reducing those expenses that are ad hoc, where it's like I'm impulse spending, and try and transfer more of that into paying off my debt. This doesn't change. So if I go over what's allowed and what's not allowed, what's allowed is of course groceries, bills, gas, like there's preset amounts, those are gonna get paid, obviously. Business costs, so my stand store, paying my social media manager, my video editor, those are gonna stay. Pre-confirmed outings are also gonna stay. It's my birthday month, it's Hot Girl Summer, it's Carabana. I've already committed to some things, those are gonna have to stay. So I'm gonna make sure I really enjoy myself because the answer is no to everything else. But what's paused is Uber Eats, beauty extras, impulse spending, and random lifestyle spending. Sometimes the joke is when I know I'm about to do a no spend month, it almost makes me spend because I know I'm about to really lock off. So I'm like, ooh, let me get this random thing just because I know I'm not gonna spend. So I don't even know if it helps me, but it does help me. It still does. And I'm gonna beg my parents to cook me some meals and drop them off. She's absolutely ridiculous. No, you're gonna stay for the rest of the video. Yeah, you're gonna stay. Yeah. Step 3 is a little income side sprint. So you guys already know my goal is to earn an extra $250 to $500 a month from, you know, a content, digital products, affiliate links. Hopefully I monetize soon. We are almost there, so I'm very excited about that. And literally anything income generating without extra spending. So I want to make that extra money, which means I'm gonna need to have the courage to drop the things that I've been working on. So stay tuned for that. I've got an undercover CEO series that I'm starting, so you guys will see that as well. And yeah, your girl's just gonna try to make some extra money. That was the conclusion we came to at the debt episode number 1, is that there's nothing else for me to do. Your girl don't got nothing else to squeeze and pinch. I'm just gonna have to make some more money. Yeah. So that's what we need to do. That's step number 3. Oh my God. Anyways, Joe's sick of this. You guys are probably sick of me. The best thing to know right now is that step number 3 is it. It's a 3-step process for August. We're gonna book and consolidate. We're gonna do some no spend month boundaries and have those things set up. And we're gonna try to get some extra side hustle income and just make some money. Like, yeah, get into it. Now, I wanna hear from you guys. What would you do if you owed $12,000, because it's gonna be $12,000 from a trip? Would you consolidate it like I did? Would you do the debt snowball method? Is there another method that you've actually done that is not debt consolidation or the snowball method? Because, you know, let me know. If I can do it and it saves me the interest, I might want to do it. I'm not gonna lie. Drop your advice, drop your stories, share any encouragement in the comments. I'm open to all of it. And if you're on your own debt journey, hit subscribe. This debt series, Debt Me Out, if I keep my payments and what they currently were set to, is gonna be at least another 2 years that we meeting up together. So subscribe, comment, share your story, and check out my channel if there's anything else that you like to watch. Like, enjoy. We're multifaceted here. We do a lot of things. We do personal improvement, self-development, budgeting, debt repayment, business, boss, CEO, you know what I mean? So we're here for a lot, and I hope you stick around because I'm loving you guys, like literally just being here on this journey with me. So yeah, I'm really excited. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Love you. Bye.